Hello, welcome to the Gab Juls Show. No Gab today, so look who's come down. Don Hutchison is with me today for a packed show because we'll have the Champions League draw later. We had the German Cup, the transfer latest, Alexander Isak and all of that. And I never thought I would say that, but the English League Cup, Don, because this is where we start. Manchester United, the gift that keeps on giving, knocked out on Wednesday night by League Two Grimsby Town. Grimsby Town, that is. I mean, apart from pathetic and humiliating and embarrassing, is there any other word?
All of that, Jules. And Amorim now has to come under serious pressure for his job. Because the tactical side of the game last night, when the opposition play one up front, how you still think it's acceptable to play three centre-backs against Grimsby, on top of not even watching your players taking a penalty, on top of Sheshko, penalty number 10, who didn't fancy one in the first 5. It's unreal. And it's one of the lowest points, I would imagine, for Man United fans in their recent history. It's embarrassing.
We knew it was the draw. They had to go there.
Yeah.
You've
played, can be difficult.
Yeah, you've played lower league games, teams, in FA Cup or League Cup in your career. It's tricky, small pitch. The crowd is up for it. The players are usually up for it. Yeah. They're very physical leagues. But we saw good things against Arsenal in the first game.
Very good.
Then not so good against Fulham apart from the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was dreadful.
Do you know what, Jules? I reckon somewhere in the summer, I've sleepwalked and bumped my head and got amnesia because I tipped this lot for top 6.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't.
I did because I thought the'd be something different. I mean, there's a little bit of context. I thought Belieber might have come in. I thought Gyökeres might have come in.
I was only kidding.
But I mean, stark reality check for Man United fans and people like myself, because I thought the teams that they've got to overtake to try and get into the top 6 are teams like Fulham, teams like Brighton, teams like Bournemouth, teams like Brentford. And I fancied them with the players that they've signed to do a lot better. But now it's just the same old. I mean, what you have to do, I played in these games, and when you play away from home against a League Two side, is early on, you've got to match them their fight.
Yeah.
You've got to match fight for fight. You've got to show that you're up for it. You've got to try and get on the ball. Once the game calms down and you've got control, your superior talent should take over.
Definitely.
That's the master plan. There's no magnets on a board trying to shift players at different positions. It's match the opposition and the atmosphere for their fight.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that. And when he said last night, when Amorim said last night, my players spoke for me. I mean,
what does that even mean?
I'll tell you what that means. They're not playing for me. Because if his players last night spoke loudly for him, that means they're not playing for him. Because it was embarrassing. Yeah. So I don't know what message he's trying to send across.
I mean, we talked together about his communication last season, especially. That was dreadful. At times, too honest, even, and by saying this is
worst club in.
Worst team in Manchester United.
Are you in a relegation battle? Yes.
Yes, that kind of stuff. So we said, okay. And I thought he would have learned from that. Clearly not. Then the tactic side of it, as you mentioned, the back three in a game like this.
Yeah.
But even outside of this game, Don, his back three is not working, right? This system, which is his system, is just not working. What we see with the ball from those players, whether they fit or not the system, whether they are new signings, old guys that were there, experienced, young, whatever, is he too stubborn to succeed?
This is a conversation that's almost sort of pointless having because we know he's not going to change his system. And I don't know how you feel on the system, the players that he's got. I never thought it was going to work.
No, me neither.
Because the reason why I don't think it's going to work, it's fine having 3 centre-backs, but not against one Grimsby centre-forward. But in general, whichever 2 of the midfield players he's got, apart from maybe Agarte, he can't actually run.
No.
So you would never play someone like Busquets in a 2-man midfield.
No.
Kobe Mainoo can't play in a 2-man midfield because he can't get around the pitch.
Absolutely.
On top of you've bought Cunha and Mbeumo, 2 number 10s, and therefore you've lost Bruno Fernandes as a number 10 because you're now trying to play him as a quarterback a bit deeper. He can't really run and go box to box. It's all just a mess.
It is, man. And they still have, for this game they had Onana in goal.
Yeah.
Who, for me, makes a mistake on the first goal. His near post should at least have a stronger hand. The second goal, I know there's a handball and probably had VAR been there, it would have been ruled out, but there's no VAR.
No.
And he messed up completely coming out from the ball.
And India was all over the place against Fulham.
Yeah, true. How come they haven't bought a goalkeeper? On the back of what you just said about their recruitment, where they spend £200 million plus on 3 forwards, really, where they probably only needed 2 of them 3.
I would have, and this is not hindsight, because when Newcastle were interested in Benjamin Šeško, I wasn't that bothered that we missed out on him.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
No. I think the potential's there, but the potential was in Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
For exactly the same amount of money, 74 million, 75 million. they're the same sort of player that needs nurturing. They need development. They need help. They need coaching. So if I was on the Man United staff and you're looking at 75 million for Šeško, leave Rasmus Højlund there for one more year and spend the 75 on a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They could have got Emi Martinez for about 40 million quid.
Yeah.
Donnarumma.
Yeah,
right? You
absolutely.
could have got the best number ones out there for half the price.
Yeah.
So the fact that they haven't strengthened in the number one position, they're weak. Doesn't matter which one you want to buy. The three centre-backs are not really going to work because the personnel doesn't work. I thought Yoro and I thought De Ligt in the Arsenal game were very, very good and quite good against Fulham. But the midfield worries me. And then Šeško, penalty number 10 last night. He needs time. He needs a bit of time just to try and find his feet.
What happened there?
I don't know.
But you would be disappointed
Well,
if you were Amorim.
Look at
If you're Amorim, and when you go through that hurdle and you say, okay, you go first, Bruno normal,
Hand
and
up.
Bomo second,
Hand up.
your best two takers, Cunha third, okay, that kind of stuff. But then when you say, okay, who wants to go fourth, fifth? Who wants to go sixth, seventh?
And his hand's not gone up.
And you're Amorim, and this is your number 9. He's your striker, and the guy is clearly hiding.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Well, the best example is when you look at the Leeds game for Arsenal and Gyökeres had a penalty.
Yeah.
And I actually thought the nice thing to do was maybe give it to Max Downman.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
got the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was thinking sentimental, that's a nice thing to do. And I thought, no, he's going to be ruthless.
Yeah.
He's going to want to take this penalty and get 2. Because that's what he wants. He wants goals, he wants numbers. So why Šeško hasn't put his hand up in the first 5, I'll never know.
scared.
Whether he's like really shy, I don't know,
so.
but I'm trying to half find an out for him.
Yeah.
But surely in the first 9, you've got to stick your hand up and go, I'm taking one.
It's just the
10.
keeper after you, man.
10.
Everybody else has the keeper. Well, let's talk a bit more about Šeško, because obviously not just because he's Manchester United, but because they spend a lot of money on him, because there was a lot of other clubs who were also keen on him, from Newcastle to Arsenal to other clubs in Italy and in Spain as well. The penalty, we talked about it.
Yeah.
And we said how embarrassing it is to hide yourself until you have to go and take it, because it's you and the keeper left. So
You've
you
got to
have
be braver.
You have to be braver, surely, right?
No,
if
100%.
you sign for Manchester United, you can't start hiding against the League Two team.
What's the first thing if you're a number 9 for Man United that you want to do? You want to get off and running. You want to score. Give yourself a bit of confidence. I know it's a penalty, but he didn't even put his hand up till number 10. So is this on Amorim by not picking him? Or did Amorim look at the players in the eyes and think, right, who fancies it? Because normally that's a giveaway.
Yeah.
Normally that's a clue when a manager says, right, who wants them? I mean, to be honest, in this day and age, the penalty should be done 10 minutes before full time. Amorim and his coaching staff should have had a list of which players are on the pitch, right, and Buomo, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I think they had a bit of that.
Go through your top.
Yeah. But then
you're looking at a player and you want the player to go, Gaffer.
You need that feel. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'd do.
Because, watching on TV, you obviously don't see straight away sometimes who's coming to take the next pen.
Yeah.
So Grimsby score,
Yeah.
and then you're waiting to see who the United player coming up. And we were watching, and I was saying, okay, surely Šeško now.
Definitely.
And then it was, I don't know,
Dalot.
Mount. Oh, yeah, Dalot.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Šeško now.
Yeah.
No, Maguire.
Yeah.
Šeško now.
No, Mainu.
Mainu.
Where
And I was
are
like, don't tell me he's going to leave. He's going to be the last one of the outfield players to take one. And he was, man. I promise you.
I reckon Onana would have put his hand up before Šeško.
100%. And I just could not believe it. He struggled during the game. Do you think he's low on confidence? He arrived quite late.
Sometimes it can be a player that's just, when you go to a club the size of Man United, sometimes you can be a little bit shy.
Yeah,
sometimes you can be that way, not wanting to force. You should force it in a way. It's a bit of a contradiction, but sometimes you want the easy option. And when you play for Man United, you've got to put your hand up.
Yeah.
You've got to stick your hand up and go, Gaffer, I'm taking this penalty. And then the manager will look at you and go, even if you miss it, you go, brave, anything can happen, you can miss. But to sort of wilt away in the background might just tell you a little bit about his character.
Yeah.
As in, like, he's not particularly brave, or if we're trying to give him an out and try to give him an excuse, he might be a little bit shy. But I'm trying to find something for him, because it's not a good look. Penalty number 10 for a number 9 that cost 75 million.
It's not.
It's not a great look, Jules.
It's not at all. It was a crazy penalty shootout.
Yeah.
With a lot of penalties scored. Onana getting his hands on a few that maybe he could have saved, didn't. On the other hand, Pim, the Grimsby goalkeeper, who's a Manchester United fan, pretty much went the wrong way every time, except
he was trying his best for Man United to go through.
Man United on the Cunha penalty, and what a terrible penalty that
was awful.
And again, when you're a new signing, you Cunha, just hit it strong. Don't give me this like I'm waiting to see where you go, and then it's an embarrassing.
It was almost like he tried to overcomplicate the whole situation. It's almost like in his mind he was taking a penalty against a top goalkeeper. So therefore I've got to trick him with the eyes or trick him with the footwork. On that pitch, pouring down the rain, wet, hard and low's your option.
I know.
Whichever way you want to go.
100%.
There's some brilliant penalties. Maguire's penalty was sensational.
Yeah, very good.
Kobe Mainoo, stanchion.
Incredible.
Great penalty. And Buemo's unlucky. He hit the bar.
Yeah, so
that
he
can
scored
happen.
one. But still, that means that your 3 signings that cost you 200.
One didn't want to take it.
One didn't want to take it. Scored it.
2 of them missed.
And 2 missed. You can't make it up. That's why I said that it's the gift that keeps on giving. Well done to Grimsby, we should say.
Fantastic.
Great first half.
And the only reason Man United got back in the game because Maguire scored and Grimsby started to tire.
Yeah.
Because they put so much into it.
And I also think the third goal that Grimsby scored that was disallowed for offside should have stood.
Should have stood, 100%.
But again, no VAR. The second goal, as we said, should have been disallowed.
So where does he go from here? Burnley. It feels like a Ten Hag moment, this, for Amorim. If he loses against Burnley, gone. The chances are, when Ten Hag was in this position, he won the game that mattered.
Yeah.
The next one to keep him alive, they'll probably beat Burnley. But then they've got Chelsea and Man City after that.
Yeah.
So
and then we go back. Hasn't won back-to-back game in the Premier League since he arrived in November, so 10 months ago.
Yeah.
Has won 27 points in 28 games. So that's
I don't know
less
if
than
you've
a point
seen. Have you seen
per
the
game.
kid? Have you seen the kid on Instagram who said, "I'm not cutting my hair till Man United win 5 games in a row," and his hair is hilarious.
And
Up
you see,
there.
he goes like, because they've had wins in a row when you count other competitions than just the league.
It's brilliant.
And then
anyone
he
go and
stops at
check
3
him.
or 4.
Go and
I
check
think there's
him.
one time where he's 4. He's one more. No,
his
still.
hair is literally out
It's
here. It's
incredible.
hilarious.
And
And he ain't getting that cut in a hurry. They ain't winning 5 games in a row.
No. You said earlier, Amorim under massive pressure now, which I think
He is.
you saw him on the bench during that penalty shoot. He didn't even want to watch. I think he knew if I lose
The
here,
tactics board wasn't a good look.
the tactic balls was a bad look, and also a lot of memes are going to be created from that
100%.
on social media.
But you know when you really simplify the job that he's doing, and you really like sort of dumb it down, and you dumb it down, and you go, right, Grimsby are playing 1 centre forward.
Yeah,
Who picks 3 centre backs?
I know, man.
Because you're wasting a player. You'd rather have a more offensive player. When you really dumb it down, it's scandalous that
you
he'd come up
think
with
that
3 centre backs against one number
when
9.
Heaven was taken out for Mount, then I think everybody thought, okay, this is him going to back 4, and actually Dalot went to the back 3, and Mount played left wing back. And then this was it.
But the knock-on effect with playing 3 centre backs is you are weak in midfield. Man United's problem last year was getting overrun.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't matter if you play Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. The 2 of them can't cover the ground.
Absolutely.
If it's Agate and Casemiro, can't cover the ground. So whichever 2 you throw up in the air, whichever names land, apart from Agate who can run, but he can't pass the ball, none of them can get box to box and cover. So if you're a team playing against Man United, you play 3 in midfield.
And that's exactly...
And you outrun them. I remember Newcastle going there and destroying them in the first 20 minutes. Bournemouth done the same. I think Palace done the same. I commentated on so many games last season where Man United were weak through the middle. And nothing's changed.
They haven't
Apart from shiny new signings in number 10 positions.
But surely you would think, okay, we mentioned forward you wanted Cunha and Bomo, Shesko, whatever, okay, maybe. But surely the midfielder or the goalkeeper has to be one of your priorities.
100%.
Right? Of getting them. And yes, they went for Baleba. I mean, they went for Baleba. I said
But
they
not
went
really.
for Baleba. Exactly.
Too much money
They
now.
knew from the beginning, as soon as they make contact with Brighton.
He's what they need, by the way.
Yeah. But they knew they could not put 120 million down. Or whether they think it's too much or they don't have the money.
So why wouldn't you sacrifice either Sheshko, Cunha or Mbeumo? Don't sign one of them and buy Emi Martinez or Donnarumma.
Yeah. But even like I don't know, Baleba is probably the ideal guy because he's going to be so good and he's just perfect for you.
Well, who plays alongside him?
But there are other defensive midfielders you could have got with great mobility.
But if you drop Baleba into this team, you go, fantastic player. Love him, £100 million. You've still got one more next to him.
Yeah, true.
You need 3.
True.
You know, I talked before about Busquets. He could never play in a 2.
No.
So you put him in a 3. Kobe Mainoo. I think if you put Casemiro or Agate, whichever one you want, and you've got Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mainoo, there's a good midfield 3.
Probably,
but they don't play that way.
He won't
They're
do
inverted number 10s. Diallo's has to play as a wing back. He's a wide player. Garnacho is a wide player.
You know what bothers me the most about the back 3 and the 3-4-2-1 that he has? It's okay. This could be your template because you feel.
Well, Liverpool didn't fancy it, by the way, when he went for his interview there, and he mentioned 3 at the back, and Liverpool went no,
which you can understand. Yeah. United saw it differently. We say enough that a lot of managers don't have an identity or don't have a way of playing.
I just didn't like it, Jules, when he put his flag in the sand and said, "This is how I'm playing." Look at Thomas Frank. I've championed Thomas Frank for 2 years to be Man United manager because he's adaptable.
Yeah,
he'll play a 3, he'll play a 4.
I give you that. But you could still have your system and keeping it, but with a bit of fluidity inside. You know what Luis Enrique is doing, for example.
Yeah.
So you have that back three yesterday. Okay, you start with the back three. It's not ideal, but clearly you've given one of your centre backs. And okay, yesterday they were none of them were like great. But let's say you said to Delirte, who starts, I need you in midfield.
Correct.
Really, more 80% of the time.
Correct.
So start as a back three, but very quickly I need you to step up.
Correct.
And then you do that. But there's no fluidity. It's so rigid. That three.
It's like we've got three boys there. Don't move. Stay there. It's like when you're in possession, someone go into midfield and make a three.
Completely. And if you don't have a player for that because you don't think the lid can do it, or Euro, or Maguire, or
can
Heaven,
play
whatever.
against Grimsby, any one of them, no disrespect.
We saw Delirte a little bit in the second half. He's got that shot where he takes the weird shot that goes over the bar and he doesn't look comfortable at all hitting the ball and thinking like, well, have you never taken a shot in your life? But usually it's too rigid. And I'm like, why are you doing it?
And as I said, you're giving up a player in midfield. By playing three at the back.
Yeah, completely.
You're giving up a body or you're taking a one-way for a more offensive area. But
you
one of those
think they
three
can sack him, right? You don't think
if they lose against Burnley, 100%.
But it would have been there even a year.
I know, but who would have honestly thought this guy would have a worse record than Eric Ten Hag?
No,
got a worse record
than Graham Potter.
He said Man United are the worst team in decades. He said it. He said we're in a relegation battle. He's got 5 wins, I think, in 25 in the Premier League.
You know, I like him a lot. I've always liked him. And last season, I gave him a bit of trying to find excuses. So you remember they played in the Europa League. They had games every 3 days. He arrived his first 10 games
against all the opposition apart from Lyon that they should have won.
No, I know, but he had 10 games in 30 days after he arrived after that international break, which was not easy to train. I get that. So I gave him that. Then I gave him the players that he has don't really fit, but they're not very good and haven't been at the level. So I gave him that.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm running out of excuses.
Well, I give him one of the most important things, and it's probably a reason why I went for top 6, is no European football whatsoever. Yeah. Conte won the league last year with Napoli.
True.
Saturday.
Yeah, but then you thought they would be ready now. And then you can even kick on even better when the others start playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever they are, and you just watching on TV.
Do you think he survives?
Do
you think he survives if they lose against Burnley at home?
I mean, now when you say like this, losing to Burnley at home, Old Trafford.
Off the back of Grimsby?
I don't know.
I can't see it, Jules, honestly.
I know, but then you start
the owners are so invested in him and so invested in what he wants and what he's trying to do and the players that they're signing for him. Oh, come on, man. He's losing games every week.
I know. I mean, it's embarrassing.
What are they going to do against Man City and Chelsea if they lose against Burnley?
Embarrassing. Well,
that kid with a five winning streak, his Barnett's going to be like that.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger than his house. You could say though that they do better against top clubs usually because they raise their level somehow.
And they sit deep a little bit.
Yeah, and we saw against Arsenal, even last season against Liverpool, against City.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
He's got work to do, put it this way.
And there's still a lot of issues within that squad. So Sesko we mentioned, Onana. I mean, who do you pick for Burnley? By India?
And the goalkeeper, by the way, that they're going to be buying, Laurens, is meant to be one. Is meant to be one for the future.
Yeah,
this is complete opposite of what they need.
I know.
They need a number 1 now.
I know. Although I would say he had a percentage of save rates. That's what we say, of 90% in the Belgian league last year. So clearly incredible in his saves.
But you put that Man United shirt on.
He's not ready. He would not be ready.
It's good if it's one for the future. If you've got a number 1, but they haven't even got a number 1.
We saw Kobe Mainoo playing yesterday, his first game of the season.
Yeah.
Been unused in the 2 league games. What do you do with him? He's clearly not happy with the situation. But you know what?
I know what I'd do with him.
But
put him in a 3.
If you play in that double pivot, it's pointless. Don't play him.
And Amorim said the only player he's in contention with is Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Who's the captain. So he's never going to drop Bruno Fernandes.
He's never going to play. So do you force a move? Do you push to leave?
If you're the player?
Yeah.
I would. I'd want to go and play because he's clearly not playing well. He's clearly not even playing. He's not getting his minutes. He's a super talented player. I'd want to go and play. Go and find the best club that you can play for that's going to give you regular minutes and make you into the top player.
It's a World Cup year as well, man.
And how many Man United players recently have we seen leave? Yeah, going to be brilliant. Scott McTominay's the best example. MVP in Italy last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kobe Mainoo's that sort of player.
Yeah.
But he's got to play in the 3. That's where he can showcase his talent. He's not a box-to-box player. Some players just can't do it. Frank Lampard was super fit, but he played in the 3. Busquets, I mentioned, technically very good, but needed 2 players alongside him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kobe Mainoo's that guy.
Garnacho is still there?
Won't be.
But they must be playing. This is a deal.
Sancho's still there.
Sancho is still there.
Did you see his picture yesterday with the bomb squad smiling? I mean, it's a terrible look.
It's It's horrendous if you're Manchester United. Don, this is August, I can't even see, 28th.
Yeah.
August, how is it possible that those players who you've left out are still there?
It's because Man United have put these players, not the players, Man United have put themselves in a terrible position by telling the world, and Amorim's part of this, telling the world these are a bomb squad, they're not good enough, these are the players that want to be sold. If you're a buying player, a buying team, you'd go, I ain't buying them on the 28th.
Chelsea, you're thinking like,
no, I won't buy them today.
Yeah.
I'll buy them on the last day of the winter.
Exactly. You need to.
If you're selling a house, Jules, you don't sell your house to me and go, Don, by the way, the roof's leaking.
Yeah.
Right, plumbing's gone. Right? You tell it's the best house in the world. And you make sure you get top money for your house.
I'd never do that to you. I'd never do that to you.
But now these players are sitting back thinking
mess.
like, Sancho's being linked with Roma, and it's like, he doesn't want to go because his contract's so big. Roma can't afford his wages.
The money's massive.
Right, Leon Bailey signed for them, got injured on the first day. All right,
that's another
from
issue.
Aston. I know, but these players are just sitting back, going like, why should I be in a hurry to go out of Man United? It's their fault by putting me on a big contract, and it's their fault for treating me badly.
Yeah,
and if that club's treating you badly, I know what players are like.
Favors. Yeah,
they ain't going to go. They ain't going to go unless the contract's right.
We said the keeper is going to arrive, whether he's good enough to be number one or not. He's going to arrive. They're going to pay £17 million for him. And then what? Do you expect a midfield? They need a midfield, at least one midfielder that can run, as we mentioned. I can't even see that happening. Would they need?
Oh, they need a lot, but it's how much money they've got.
I don't think they have much left.
So they've got to generate. So they've got to generate. Worst case scenario, in three days, they've got to generate 25 for Sancho.
Yeah.
25 for Garnacho. This is the lowest price, by the way. Anthony, I don't know, 25.
Don't know. Yeah.
75 million.
Højlund. I mean, it would be a loan for Højlund to Napoli, I think.
With a view to 40.
Yeah.
So over 100. Just chuck it at Brighton and go believer. And just get that done and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Wharton. Wharton, I think, is going to the very top.
Yeah,
that's your ideal too. Wharton and Believer.
Oh my God,
it's 200 million quid.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know. I'm playing fantasy footy.
No,
That's how far Man United are off.
Yeah.
It's
and you know
unbelievable.
what? I could understand your optimism at this time when Rooney mentioned them to finish fifth. I was only
going off the back of the teams that they had to overtake.
No.
Fulham have spent zero.
But I think that's understandable. But now you look at it. Let's say we did all our predictions for ESPN. I think it was a month ago or something, whatever. So it was very early, and they were early predictions. But now with hindsight of what you've seen, where they are in terms of their squads,
10th-ish.
I agree. Again, we're not even sure if Ruben Amorim will still be the manager at the end of the season anyway.
Because say they beat Burnley,
right,
which they should. The chances are they ain't going to beat Chelsea, not going to beat Chelsea or Man City.
Yeah.
So you're going into a season with potentially 4 points on the board. You're in the bottom 4 or 5 inside of 5-6 games. Then the pressure's on.
Yeah, massively.
And then Liverpool come around the month
and then
after.
You play catch up
away from home.
And the pressure is on so much. It's an incredible start of the season for Manchester United, that's for sure.